Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take the sources you send us and really dig into them.
Get right to the heart of it.
Exactly. We extract those core insights for you. Today we're tackling something fascinating. Aligning your behavior with what you want to manifest.
hmm
Your sources are pretty clear on this manifestation isn't just, sitting back and waiting. It requires active participation.
Absolutely. It's not wishful thinking. And for you, the learner, we're aiming to break this down. How you move from just hoping to actually seeing results.
Without getting bogged down in theory.
Right. Think of it as a kind of express route to understanding and actually using these ideas.
Okay, so let's jump straight in. A really fundamental point from your sources is how our actions reflect our self-worth.
Yeah, that came up again and again.
Basically, how we act shows the universe what we genuinely believe we deserve.
That's it. So aligning your behavior means embodying the energy of what you want. You become it, in a way.
Like becoming a magnet through what you do every day.
Exactly. It's not passive. It's about being engaged in the whole journey.
This really draws a line between just wishing and making something happen, doesn't it?
It does.
Your sources mentioned the law of attraction, thoughts attract things, right? But they also point out that sometimes that feels a bit
Well,
passive, like you just think positive thoughts and wait.
yeah, exactly. Like the universe is just supposed to deliver.
But manifestation, as your sources frame it, needs your active involvement. That's the key distinction.
Visualizing is good, but not enough on its own.
Right. Visualizing the dream holiday, great first step. But then you need the practical stuff, researching, saving, booking the flights. It's the doing alongside the thinking.
And the sources give some really concrete examples of this doing. Manifesting a house, for instance. It's not just picturing the kitchen. It's actually scrolling through websites, calling agents, visiting areas.
You got it? Or acing an exam. Positive thinking helps, sure, but it doesn't replace the actual studying, does it? Not at all. One of the big myths your sources bust is that you can just imagine something and poof, it appears without effort.
Yeah, that passive idea. It's tempting, but not how it seems to work according to this material.
There's that story in there about the client with the supper club idea. Brilliant concept.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Had everything ready, menu, venue ideas, even interested people, but for 2 years, nothing happened. Just completely stuck.
Paralyzed by fear, wasn't she? Fear that no one would come.
Exactly. It just shows how inaction, even when everything else seems aligned, can completely block things.
And that brings up such a crucial point. How often does that fear of failure stop us? Stop us from taking those proactive steps?
All the time, probably.
Your sources suggest procrastination, hesitation.
Yeah.
It often comes down to that fear. We invent excuses, right?
Not enough time, don't have the resources, too tired.
Yeah, all those classics. But what message does that inaction send? According to these sources, it's basically telling the universe, I'm not ready.
Or I'm not worthy. Those actions, or lack thereof, they speak volumes. Fear-based inaction says closed, while proactive steps say I'm open, I'm ready.
It's like that subconscious block we've talked about before. Those hidden fears stopping the very things you want.
But the good news here, the insight, is that taking those proactive steps actually helps you move past the fear.
Definitely. Let's look at that business example. Version A versus version B.
Right. Version A is stuck in fear, hesitates to network, avoids marketing because they're scared of judgment.
Reluctant to invest, misses chances because they're just too afraid of failing.
Then you've got version B. They're out there, reaching out, promoting themselves, maybe getting mentors.
Grabbing opportunities, investing time, energy, money, acting as if they're already successful.
And the potential outcomes are just worlds apart, aren't they?
It makes it so clear how behavior directly impacts manifestation. Version B is basically signaling, yes, I'm ready for success.
And this applies to relationships too, right?
Huh.
Can't just stick a picture on a vision board and wait for Prince or Princess Charming.
No. Your sources say it starts with self-love. Treating yourself the way you want a partner to treat you, that's foundational.
But then there's the action part again.
Yes. Actively creating chances to meet people. Dating apps, social clubs, saying yes to that setup your friend keeps suggesting.
Even if it feels a bit awkward or scary.
Especially then, maybe. It's about aligning that inner feeling of worthiness with outer actions that open doors.
Okay, so a question might be popping up for you listening. How do I align my behavior if I still feel those fears and doubts? They don't just vanish overnight.
And your sources address that directly. It's not like you eliminate all fear, then start manifesting.
It's more simultaneous.
Exactly. Aligning behavior and working through fear, they happen together. It's a process of dance, like you said.
There's that anecdote about the host's son, Wolf, on the balancing beam. That really illustrated it for me.
And tell us.
He was convinced he couldn't do it alone, kept reaching out, but with a bit of encouragement, he tried. And that feeling of pride when he did it, that boosted his belief, made him want to try again.
Ah, so the action itself built the confidence, created an upward spiral.
Precisely. Taking action, even small actions, despite the fear, builds that inner knowing, that self-belief.
It makes that saying, feel the fear and do it anyway, really practical.
And your sources have that other version. Fake it until you become it, which sometimes gets a bad rap, but here it means acting as if you are already the person you want to be.
Taking that leap, trusting that the actions will help you grow into that version of yourself.
Which brings us to a really powerful question from the sources. Who do I want to become?
Yes. Having that clear vision of your empowered future self is your guide.
You can start acting like that person now.
There's that great example of the friend who wanted to be a life coach. Lots of self-doubt holding him back.
Even though he had the skills, the desire,
Yeah.
that imposter syndrome was strong.
But he decided to try the fake it till you become it approach. What did he do?
Started small, but consistently. An Instagram page, connecting with other coaches online, sharing useful stuff, then offering some free sessions, building confidence, eventually hosting a webinar. Taking those aligned actions.
And the results?
Over about a year. Amazing. Built a community, got paying clients, really established himself. It shows how acting as if helps you step into that power, even with the doubts still there.
That's a powerful example.
So let's try a quick exercise based on the sources. Right now, just take a moment. Imagine your future self. You've achieved your desires, you feel empowered, magnetic, really step into that feeling.
Get a sense of it.
Now ask, how does this future me behave? What do I do daily to live this self-loving, empowered life? And the idea is, start doing some of those things today, even small things. Show the universe. Through your actions, you're stepping into that future self now, because that potential, it's already in you.
It's about activating it through behavior.
Now, we need to be real here. This process, aligning your behavior, it's not always comfortable, is it?
Not at all. And your sources explain why. It's about the subconscious mind.
Ah, the comfort zone thing.
Exactly. Our subconscious likes what's familiar. It equates familiar with safe, even if that familiar pattern isn't actually good for us.
So new behaviors feel threatening.
Potentially unsafe, yeah. Unfamiliar. So the subconscious tries to pull you back. That's where self-sabotage comes in.
Like that friend trying the parent group, making progress, feeling good. Then suddenly obstacles kept coincidentally popping up.
Classic example. Her subconscious was trying to get her back to the familiar, less confident state, pulling the emergency brake.
We see it everywhere, don't we? Sabotaging healthy eating, skipping workouts when you have a fitness goal.
The subconscious isn't thinking about your highest good necessarily, just about keeping things the same. Predictable.
You shared a personal experience with this too, didn't you?
Yeah, for me it was often around food or other distractions when I felt I was making big positive shifts. That pull back to the old comfort zone.
So awareness is key.
Absolutely. Becoming aware of those patterns lets you consciously choose differently. The big insight is, expect discomfort when you change. It's normal. Commit to sitting with it until the new behavior starts feeling familiar.
Which leads perfectly into the next point. Stepping outside your comfort zone. Your sources are really strong on this.
Non-negotiable, basically. They flat out say, magic happens outside your comfort zone.
Love that. And they even tackle those big life questions like, should I quit my job or should I start this business?
And the answer is?
And encouraging, absolutely yes. The idea is those sparks of inspiration, those nudges to do something scary but exciting. They're invitations from the universe.
Opportunities to grow, to expand.
Don't ignore them. Take action, even if it feels like a huge leap.
But it doesn't always have to be huge leaps, right? Small steps count too.
Definitely. Doing small things daily that push your boundaries, saying yes more often, trying something new, building that muscle.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? Let's get into some practical strategies from the sources for taking action. First up, find your why.
Yes. Knowing why you want something deep down, that's your fuel.
It gives you the strength to push through the discomfort, the fear. The sources suggest asking, how will this change me? Energetically, emotionally.
Physically, mentally, spiritually. How will it change my daily life? Bring more peace, more joy.
Connecting to that feeling.
Like the example of the person needing to make a video for a dream job application. Terrified of the camera.
But their why was stronger.
Exactly. The passion for the work, the joy it would bring, the better quality of life, that outweighed the fear, so they did it.
Powerful. Okay, strategy number 2. Expose your excuses.
Oh, this is a good one. Recognizing that excuses, I'm too busy, I'm not ready, are usually fear in disguise.
Fear trying to keep you safe in the familiar zone.
The sources say, challenge them. Ask yourself, why am I really saying I'm too busy? What am I afraid of?
What would happen if I just dropped this excuse? Taking away their power.
Love it. Next strategy. Don't give up when challenges hit, because they will.
Persistence. It's a key trait, isn't it? Challenges test us. They bring up insecurities, test our self-worth.
But the reframe here is crucial. See challenges not as stop signs, but as detours, opportunities.
Gifts even. Chances
Yeah.
to learn, grow, see things differently. Ask, what can I learn here? Decide to be guided by the challenge, not stopped by it.
Okay, and then there's the 5-second rule, Mel Robbins' technique.
Yeah, brilliant tool. For those moments you feel an impulse to axe a step out of your comfort zone, but your brain starts talking you out of it.
That hesitation gap.
Exactly. You count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move E. Physically move. It interrupts the brain's habit of killing the idea.
You used this yourself, right, before a workshop?
I did. Feeling massive imposter syndrome, wanted back out, did the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just walked on stage. It worked. It broke the pattern.
Magic happens outside the comfort zone.
It really does.
All right, another really powerful angle from your sources for aligning behavior, create healthy habits.
This ties back to self-worth again. These daily high-vibe practices, they build that inner foundation.
Things like journaling, mantras, meditation, walks, good skincare, baths.
Self-care, breath work, exercise, yoga, gratitude, all those things that nurture you.
They seem small, maybe, but done consistently, they raise your vibration, boost your manifesting power.
Your sources contrast person A, who has no morning routine, just rushes into the day.
Versus person B, who carves out time for, say, journaling and meditation. The difference in their energy and mindset is huge.
It shapes their whole day, their whole outlook.
There's that John C. Maxwell quote, "You will never change your life until you change something you do daily."
So true.
The sources have an exercise for this, too.
Right. Write down maybe 3 daily practices you'll commit to for, say, 66 days, long enough to form a habit.
Could be waking up earlier, like person B, or 10 minutes of journaling, or a quick workout. Start small, build momentum.
Because these habits help you embody that future self you're aiming for.
Exactly. You start living as that person.
Okay, final key element, authenticity. This is huge in your sources.
Absolutely essential. There's that Oprah quote. I had no idea that being your authentic self could make me as rich as I've become. If I had, I'd have done it a lot earlier. Powerful.
It really is. Authenticity fundamentally is aligning your actions with your true thoughts, your true desires.
Not what you think you should want or do.
Right. And people who are authentic, they're magnetic, aren't they? Comfortable in their skin, unapologetic.
Your sources mention workshop attendees who just blossomed after letting go of things that weren't really them.
Inauthentic jobs, relationships, even ideas they thought they should pursue. Clearing that space allowed their true selves to flourish.
We're unstoppably magnetic when we're just ourselves.
But finding that authentic self can be a journey, can it? Letting go of who we think we should be.
Other people's expectations, past versions of ourselves.
Early conditioning, seeking approval outside ourselves, leads to people-pleasing, which your sources call the enemy of authenticity.
Every action becomes a choice. Please them or honor me.
And all that energy spent trying to get external validation, it's energy not going towards your own authentic desires and manifestation.
There's that Wade metaphor, the garden. It really helps visualize this.
We'll explain that one.
Okay, so the soil is your self-love, your inner truth. Conditioning plants things in the garden. Some are good, helpful beliefs. Others are like weeds, limiting beliefs, inauthentic desires.
Things that aren't really you.
Exactly. Uncovering authenticity is like weeding the garden, clearing out the stuff that holds you back and consciously choosing and nurturing the plants, the beliefs, the actions that represent your true, empowered self.
Takes time, that process. Constant tending.
But it makes you more magnetic, more powerful in your manifesting. Always asking, is this aligned with my thoughts, my beliefs, who I want to be?
That's the core question.
So wrapping this all up, aligning your behavior really is manifesting in action. It's not just theory.
Every little thing matters. Your daily actions, how you behave, how you treat yourself, the universe is responding to all of it.
The key takeaways seem to be proactive, take action despite fear, Embody that future self.
Step outside your comfort zone regularly, live authentically, and build self-love through those daily habits and looking after your well-being.
It's a holistic approach, really.
Definitely.
So as you sit with all this, here's a final thought to mull over, building on everything we've discussed. Consider one small area of your life. Just one. Where can you start to behave, starting today, as your most empowered, authentic self would?
With one single action, maybe even a tiny one you can take right now to show the universe, okay, I'm ready, I'm stepping into this.
Something to think about. We really encourage you to revisit your sources now, perhaps with these connections in mind.
Thank you so much for sharing your material with us and joining us for this deep dive. We hope it's given you some really valuable, actionable insights.